Even the nicest people have limits when it comes to tolerating nonsense.
When you have self-respect, you respect other people enough to tell them the truth.
You're not afraid to set boundaries. You know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Boundaries aren't for them. They're for you.
And the worst part about it is that after you hit like that 25-year mark, you can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself.
Let me tell you how you really build your self-confidence and your self-respect.
This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, is when you start setting boundaries, you're going to lose people.
My rule of 3. So if I have to tell you something once, okay.
I'm going to teach you how to respect yourself.
It's very simple. If you're careless with my time, you won't have the same level of access to it. If you're careless with my energy, you won't have the same level of access to it.
The older that I get, the more I understand how important it is to have boundaries, because people will play in your face until the day you die if you let them. And the worst part about it is that after you hit like that 25-year mark, you can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself. You have to take full accountability. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand when shit is my motherfucking fault. Like, you mean to tell me I have to take so much accountability to the point where I might have to dig deep into my childhood trauma and figure out what it is that my mom and dad did or said to me when I was younger that makes me allow people to treat me like shit and walk all over me in my adult life? Who the fuck has time for that?
7 signs you respect yourself. You're not afraid to set boundaries. You know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And you're not afraid of saying no. Number 2, you take care of your physical and mental health. You don't let people walk all over you, and you're not afraid to speak up for yourself. Number 4, you appreciate your own accomplishments. You don't downplay your successes, and you don't compare yourself to others. Number 5, you forgive yourself for your mistakes. You don't give up on your dreams, even when it gets tough. And number 7, you have goals and you go after them.
When you have self-respect, you respect other people enough to tell them the truth. You stop saying yes when you really mean no. Your boundaries become more important than your desire to be liked. Your values become more powerful than social pressure. Self-respect is the only way for other people to truly respect you. It doesn't need to be born out of defiance or rebellion. It's just a natural byproduct of having respect for yourself.
Let me tell you how you really build your self-confidence and your self-respect. It's not just about looking good, because I think as women in our modern day society, we think that our confidence is all about how we look. But confidence is so much deeper than what you see on the outside. Confidence is internal. You have to do the internal work by keeping your own promises to yourself. You build your self-confidence by honoring yourself. That means if you have certain standards, you build that confidence by upholding those standards. You build your self-respect by saying, you know what, this is what I expect. I'm not going to accept this. And when you see yourself in a situation, when you come into a situation that tests those boundaries, you say, you know what, I'm going to hold myself accountable because I said, like, this is not enough for me. This is what I expect. This is what I want. And you keep doing that over and over and over again. As time passes, it will come so much more naturally to you to say, this is who I am and this is what I'm not going to stand for. These are my boundaries, and the internal work that you have done will reflect throughout your life. So you're going to exude confidence from the inside out. So yes, your makeup can be laid, the outfit can be on point, hair looks good, but you will exude that self-respect and self-confidence from the inside out. And the best part about it is no one can take that away from you.
It's very simple. If you're careless with my time, you won't have the same level of access to it. If you're careless with my energy, you won't have the same level of access to it. If you're careless with my information, you won't have the same level of access to it. In fact, anything to do with me that you're careless with, you won't have the same level of access to it. And before you get mad about where we are, take a moment to just think very carefully about the detailed journey that we took to get here.
Something that has really helped me establish boundaries with people is my rule of 3. So if I have to tell you something once, okay, I'm telling you once. I'm bringing up the problem, I'm establishing the boundary or the issue that I'm having. If I have to tell you twice, okay, I'm telling you twice. I'm going to give people the same grace that I would like to be given. So if I really care about you, I don't mind bringing up something twice. But if I have to tell you something 3 times, you can kiss my whole entire black ass and I will cut you off without warning. And I love this tip because when I cut somebody off, I never hear from them again because they know exactly why I'm not talking to them. It's also a great way to see who respects you and who doesn't. And if you don't respect me or you don't take my feelings into consideration, then we have no business being friends.
Okay, so you need help setting boundaries, but you can't pay for the therapy. I've got you. I don't mean to be dramatic, but if you can't master your boundaries in your formative years, especially your 20s, your life is going to be misery. Setting boundaries, find peace, a guide to reclaiming yourself. This book, easily one of the best books ever written on boundaries. Like, it's literally free therapy. And you know why I think this book particularly resonates with me and why I know it's going to resonate with the Black and Brown baby girls? It's because it's written by a Black woman. Because the author's a woman of color, she's able to give practical, realistic advice that is cognizant of the cultural and familial dynamics within a Black and Brown family that you're just not typically going to get from a non-Black or Brown author. The book gives you practical tips in order to allow you to feel most empowered in practicing boundary setting. All well and good learning the theory, boo-boo, but you know, if we're not actioning it, it's just academic, isn't it really? And if you're a complete beginner to this boundary game, do not worry. It covers the basics, such as learning what boundaries are, the cost of not having boundaries, and the 6 types of boundaries. But actually what's really unique about this book is that the chapters are actually split up in a really smart way. Particularly what I love are the chapters on setting boundaries according to particular type of people or even environment. So specifically there's a chapter on setting boundaries in friendships, romantic relationships, your family. Yes, for a lot of you, your family is the problem. That's not really funny. Setting boundaries in the workplace. And lastly, setting boundaries on social media. And no, I'm not going to give the whole book away, but you basically just have to read it. This one is going to be another game changer for you, I promise.
This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, is when you start setting boundaries, you're going to lose people. And I've been working with my therapist on this, and there's a really good book called Setting Boundaries, Finding Peace. But every time I would set a boundary, I was met with so much pushback. And it just goes to show, when you set a boundary with someone, let's say you're starting this new practice, okay? When you set a boundary with someone and you're met with pushback, that means they're no longer able to use you in the way that they were before. So if you lose that person, it's actually okay because you weren't losing them because they loved you. You're losing them because they were using you. And that hurts. It does. It does. But I swear, once you're on the other side of it, it's so peaceful.
Even the nicest people have limits when it comes to tolerating nonsense and disrespect. No matter how patient or kind someone is, there comes a point where they have to say enough is enough. And that's when these toxic individuals start complaining about your behavior, making it all your fault. They play the victim, insisting that setting boundaries is a personal attack. They never realize that this behavior is a reflection of their own actions and mistreatments. But no one wants to be held accountable. That's why blaming seems easy to them. Don't doubt your judgments due to their manipulative tactics. Keep your boundaries in place and make sure to honor them. I often talk about healthy relationships, and I firmly believe that respect is by far the most important aspect of any relationship.
Boundaries aren't for them. They're for you. Mm-hmm. And if someone violates your boundary, you don't set another boundary. You remove yourself from the situation. That's a personal boundary. Right. You take responsible for your energy and how contagious it is. Energy contagion is so real. And when watching a horse, when it's around ugly energy or energy that doesn't serve them, that's depleting or confusing, just removes itself. That was a tool that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me. You could just leave. Uh-huh. If someone wasn't, you didn't have to keep talking, just get up and go. I didn't even know that was an option. I thought it was you get on the dance floor and you're dancing until your partner gets off. Mm-hmm. Just go sit on the bench when in doubt.
I'm going to teach you how to respect yourself. I recently made a video talking about the importance of respecting yourself, and I got a lot of comments of people asking me, how do I respect myself? And I got hundreds of DMs of people asking me to teach them how to respect themselves. Now, I can't reply to everyone individually, so I'm going to teach you how to respect yourself. If you feel like you lack self-respect, if you feel like you don't really respect yourself enough, if you feel like people disrespect you so much because you feel like there's something you're not doing right, this video is for you. After watching this video, you would understand what self-respect means, and you would now try to get people to respect you. The first step you have to take is understanding what respect means. And by understanding what respect means, you have to understand what disrespect means. Now, for you, what does it look like when someone disrespects you? Make a list of all the disrespectful things people can ever do to you. When you're done with that list, start obeying that list by yourself first. You have to respect yourself first by not doing the things that are disrespectful to you before you can even get people to respect you. I hope that makes sense. Now, for example, disrespect might look like someone lying to you. That's one of the things that can be in your lists. For that, you have to be an honest person because you cannot expect what you are not. So to be able to respect yourself, you have to first stop disrespecting yourself by all the things you have in your list. So make a list of what it looks like, what disrespect looks like, what are the things people will do to you that is disrespectful, and start obeying that list by yourself. Start implementing those things personally to your life. That's the first step. The second and most important step is to leave anyone that does anything on that list. No exemptions. Anyone that sort of does something that is on your list, walk away. Because the thing with self-respect is that you have to truly be very disciplined. Self-respect, it doesn't just come easily. You have to be very, very disciplined in walking away from things that are very disrespectful to you. So when you've made that list and you observe that someone is doing everything in that your list of disrespect, walk away. The minute you are there and absorbing all the disrespect, you are not respecting yourself. So you actually respect yourself by having boundaries, not allowing yourself to be bullied, not allowing yourself to tolerate things that are not helpful to you. You respect yourself by working away from things that do not serve you, things that cause you to have mental health issues. The minute you are in toxic situations, you're not having self-respect. And when people see that you are in toxic situations, they can't respect you. People only respect you when they see how you treat yourself. And how you treat yourself is solely dependent on the type of things you tolerate from people. For example, when people see that you're tolerating a toxic situation in your relationship, when people see that you're forgiving an ex that cheated on you or a partner that cheated on you, how are they going to respect such a person? Because such a person doesn't even respect themselves. But when you make decisions to walk away from situations that are disrespectful to you, you are teaching your environment, you're teaching people around you that, wow, he or she truly respects themselves, so I better, respect them as well. But when you are in situations that are not helpful to you, when you allow yourself to roll in the mud that people create, people are watching, and people learn to treat you based on how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is very important. So if you treat yourself like trash, if you treat yourself like someone that is not worthy, how do you expect people to come and treat you like you're worthy? Now, this is the rampant situation that goes on. People feel disrespected in their romantic relationships. Their partners do not, respect them. The question is, how do you treat yourself in that relationship? What are some of the things you tolerate? What are some of the things you excuse of your partner? Now, when your partner sees that, oh, he or she is taking all the trash that I'm dishing out, and he or she, on the other hand, is expecting me to respect them, it doesn't work that way. Your partner wouldn't respect you because he or she has seen what you have allowed to go on in your life. They've seen that you've allowed yourself to be treated like trash. So why should they respect you? Because you've said so? People will not respect you because you just said respect me. No, you have to show them why they should respect you. And this depends on how you treat yourself and how you respect yourself by not doing disrespectful things to yourself. It's really that simple. So once you can watch this video and understand it and apply these things in your life, you would naturally start seeing that people are respecting you and you're respecting yourself, and you're just having a happier life generally. So I hope this video helps anyone that is dealing with a lack of self-respect or just not understanding how, you have to know your worth and just be a respected person in your community. Bye.
Hi friends, join the conversation down below in the comment section and let me know what your opinion is when it comes to this topic. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video. See you in my next one. Bye. God bless.